Stellar Blade has finally launched on PC and it has been a massive success for Shift Up and Stellar Blade. I love this game. I played the crap out of it last year and now it's finally on PC, and I've been playing it yesterday with some mods, and those are actually quite nice as well. But let's go ahead and talk about the success of Stellar Blade on PC and why this is important. Let's go ahead and check out PC Gamer. Stellar Blade is doing better numbers than almost every other PlayStation port on Steam, and it's probably not just because of the nude mods. Are there nude mods? There are a ton of them. If you actually go onto these mod sites, more than 80% of them are blurred out. It's because, yeah, they are quite juicy, but there are some very tasteful mods that I've been using, and those are quite nice, especially going up and down the ladder and escape rope. Now, this comes to us from The Gamer. Ex-PlayStation Boss says Stellar Blade's success is because of its combat, but we all know the real reason. Now, is the game great, other than the fact that it looks aesthetically pleasing? The girls are hot, the guys are good looking, no homo, absolutely no homo here, even though it is, damn, it's still Pride Month. But yes, no homo. Adam is a fantastic looking character. Eve has more than 91 outfits. Lily looks fantastic. But the real reason is, of course, the aesthetics. This game, when it was called Project Eve, that was announced several years ago, before it was called Stellar Blade, a lot of people had quite a, I guess you would say, they had some choice words for how this game looked, saying that this is just a gooner game. But the games we are really enjoying, most of the characters have been really attractive. Case in point, Eve from Stellar Blade, Mai Shiranui DLC for Street Fighter 6, Emma Frost for Marvel Rivals, and Lune in Expedition 33. Now, it does draw a lot of people in because the characters are hot, and people are like, hey, there's a hot character. I want to play as this hot character. But when you play the game, it's actually good. That's how it works. That's how companies are supposed to do it. You draw and lure people in based off of how the game looks like, and then the game actually performs really well, and it plays really well. And the story is actually fantastic as well. I actually really enjoy the story. It is some parts very simple, but at the end of the game, without spoiling the game, for the people who are actually just jumping onto Stellar Blade, the ending does have a very good payoff. Now, if you're talking about First Ascendant, on the other hand, First Ascendant is a very good looking game. Gameplay wise, it lacks a lot and it's very repetitive. Let's go and check out IGN. Stellar Blade only released on PC yesterday, but it's already one of Sony's biggest Steam launches ever. Absolutely huge, big W for Shift Up, and I'm definitely looking forward to more DLCs, or probably even part 2 that's coming out. And I believe there's another project that's called Project Witches. I forgot what it's called already, but they do have another game in the works. I believe it should be coming out probably next year. So the PC version of Stellar Blade only launched yesterday, June 11th, but it's already Sony's biggest single player Steam launch ever. Right now, the concurrent player peak is almost 105,000, but that's the 7th all-time peak the game has set since I started writing the story. There's no doubt that player numbers will continue to climb, especially as we move into the weekend. By comparison, Ghost of Tsushima topped out at 77,000 players, God of War peaked at 73,000, and Marvel's Spider-Man Remastered sports a peak of 66,000. In fact, the only Sony published game to have a higher concurrent record than Stellar Blade is Helldivers 2, which is of course a multiplayer game. PC-specific features include AI upscaling via NVIDIA DLSS 4 and AMD FSR3, and unlocked frame rate Japanese and Chinese voiceover, ultra-wide display supports higher resolution environment textures, and DualSense support for haptic feedback and trigger effects, which is basically if you want to use a PS5 controller. And like clockwork, there are already several news outlets, or maybe even journalists, that are coming out bashing this game, saying that this game is quite awful because of its fan base. This comes to us from Vice. Stellar Blade PC launch breaks Steam sales records thanks to its thirsty fan base, and I am one of those thirsty boys that have been playing this game. With mods, of course. Of course, you gotta have mods. I think that's the reason why a lot of people are actually playing it on PC. But there are some people that don't have a PS5. A lot of people were actually furious that this game was not on Steam. And when this game launched, Sony forced Shift Up to censor some of its outfits is because they are too revealing. And they also censored the hard R. But despite what this article says, the numbers do not lie. This game has been gaining a huge momentum and is not even the weekend yet. Check out this comparison chart that I pulled up. Stellar Blade topped out at 183,000 players, which was insane. A 24-hour peak of 183,000. And this game is a year old. This game released last year on PS5. Now people can actually get their hands on it, mod it to wherever they want, and this game has been doing phenomenally. But on the other side, we have Dragon Age the Veilguard, topped out and fizzled out at 89,000. Assassin's Creed Shadows, 64,000. Avowed, 19,000. And Concord, that was basically canceled at 697. This goes to show that us chuds had a huge victory when it comes to video games. We are actually eating very, very well in 2025. A lot of fantastic games has been out, and a lot of companies has been dialing back or rolling back their DEI nonsense. But I am one of those people that actually prefers hot characters with fantastic gameplay. I'm not sure, maybe it's just the gooner in me, but what do you guys think about this? Are you guys going to get Stellar Blade on PC? Are you guys going to mod it? There are a lot of mods. There's actually a lot of performance optimization mods, not just gooner mods. Sound off in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe to this channel, and we will see you guys next time.